Hey, this is Dr. B coming back at you with a final exam review for college algebra. This happens to be question 4, and it has to do with one of the most important formulas I consider of all time, the money formula, continuous compound interest. If you look at this, I give you all the puzzle pieces, and that's a great way to approach these questions. Everything means something. Sexy red A is the amount of money in the future after your money has grown with the interest. P is the principal. It's the money you start with at the given moment. Basically, time is 0. This E, pay attention. When you see that E, that's like pi. It's an irrational number. It's a constant. It's actually Euler's constant, pronounced Euler, but was spelled with an E. This person's name. It's approximately 2.718. You don't even need to remember that if you remember one of my secrets I'm going to show you soon. R is the rate of return. One of the secrets there is make sure you put it in decimal form. It's like an interest rate on a car loan or a bank. T is time in years. This formula will show you how money grows. Specifically, this question said, calculate the amount of time it's going to take for $2,100 to grow to $5,200. Now that is almost 2.5 times the amount of money you started with. Let's check it out. They give you a rate of return on an investment of 14%. Now I know that's a good investment return. You know, Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway might get that. But let's just look at this number and apply it to the formula. So we need to take all those numbers in the word problem, fit them to the variables. So you want it to grow to 5,200. So do you agree that's the future amount? So that's going to be my A in red. So 5,200 is where I want to get. Where do I start? At 2,100. So that's where I started. That's my principal. Notice I kept E as E. And I translated 14% as 0.14, decimal form. And what's the only real unknown up there? The T. How long in years, the time. So this is an exponential equation. Why is it an exponential equation? It has an exponent that's an unknown. That's the problem. How do we get this unknown down to our level where we can solve it? Well, one big tip. Before you go there, do you remember order of operations and all those things you have to pay attention to? One of my secrets is divide by the number in front of E every time. You're going to want to do this. It makes life way easier. So we're going to divide both sides by the 2,100. Clearly it cancels out here. And you end up getting 2.476. That's how much money, how many times the multiple of how many times it's grown. And it's equal to E raised to the power of 0.14t. The T's still up there kind of laughing at you. How can we bring it down? What powerful mathematical tool can we use? Yes, because you have an E, you'll take a natural log. You could take the log of it. It would just add some more steps. So we're taking the natural log of both sides. Now be very careful here. All these steps are in order. You go to your calculator and say, what's the natural log of 2.476? You get a number out of your calculator, 0.9066. But don't go ahead and start getting crazy on hitting the natural log of E here because you got this exponent. This is where the magic comes from. You can use the power rule of logarithms. If you have a logarithm with your input, if this thing has a power, you can bring it down, which is what we do. 0.14t comes down. Notice it's at the same level as natural log E. It's no longer an exponent. That was the juice. Now, it's very often confused with students, what happens to this natural log E? Well, you could go to your calculator and say natural log at 2.718. It'll give you 0.999. But if you want to be exact, natural log E is exactly 1. I put this aside here for you if you want to look at later, but it kind of shows you a little derivation where it becomes 1. But trust me, natural log of E is 1. So this 0.14t is multiplied by 1. Now all we have to do is get t alone. Divide both sides by 0.14. Get your calculator out, 0.90666. Divided by 0.14. 6.47 years. 6.47 years. So in 6.5 years, you more than double, 2.5 times your money. That's what you want to invest in. That's how you get rich. Keep learning math and good luck on this final. This is Dr. B, over and out.